I welcome back. Now we'll start talking about a paper from this is from Tencent, and not just restricted to online shopping, but more in the consumer web world. How to do concept mining? Um, Concepts basically observing words. A human can immediately link them with concepts and quickly come up with similar items. When one observes seemingly unrelated words like beer or maybe diaper, it can be extrapolated that the article is discussing topics like marketing instead of the actual department store. Tying past experiences thus to present interaction with the environment, recognizing or understanding new objects or events is thus enabled. Taxonomy is constructed from Wikipedia categories or probase like DBpedia or Yago. They extract concepts from free text in web documents and are limited to limited. It's better to infer concept rare in existing knowledge bases though. Neither can they exhaust all complex connections between instances discussed in different documents. Undoubtedly, ability for machines to conceptualize just as a user would do to extract trending terms that are constantly evolving and are expressed in user language is critical to boosting intelligence of recommender systems and search engines. There are a few more examples here. Looking at the words like Honda Civic and Hyundai Elantra, how do you infer Nissan Versa or Ford Focus or related cars? Not only that, they all can be clustered under something like fuel efficient or economic cars. Same way, like Great Gatsby is not just a movie, but more like a book to film adaptation. Toyota 4Runner, you can't just bring up RAV4 because both are SUVs, but looking at F-150, you need to infer that both are all what is being talked about is cars with high chassis or more like off-road vehicles. Um, the proposed solution is to discover concepts with the right granularity, conforming to user interests instead, and construct a topic concept instance taxonomy. High quality patterns are often missing in short text like queries and informal user language. Documents are usually written in expert perspective. However, search queries are often informal and may not observe syntax of a written language. Concepts in user queries are related to recent trending events like films for New Year, whereas in existing taxonomies, they are more stable and time invariant. Thus, there's a need to construct taxonomy and update dynamically, consistent with user language and styles. So thus, mining from queries and logs becomes critical. So now this is a high-level overview or architecture of the proposed solution. A small number of predefined string patterns can be used to find new concepts, while found concepts can be in turn be used to expand the pool of such patterns. Given a set of patterns, a set of concepts can be extracted from queries following patterns. Alternatively, given a set of queries with extracted concepts, a set of patterns can be learned. So which XXX have best performance could be a query. The concept is top 10 XXX. A pattern is valuable if it can be used to accurately extract a portion of existing concepts as well as to discover new concepts from queries. However, if the pattern is too general and appears in a lot of queries, it may introduce noise. So you need some sort of quality control mechanism. Although bootstrapping, as described above, helps to discover new patterns or concepts from a query set in an iterative manner, such a method has limited extraction power. Since there are only few high-quality syntax patterns in queries, recall rate of concept extraction has been sacrificed for precision. So initial set of seed concepts are extracted applying bootstrapping ideas only to a set of user queries, not click titles. Intuition, however, is that query concept is mentioned in associated click titles in a more detailed manner. Click title does convey more specific concepts of query and extend concept extraction from query set alone to concept discovery based on query logs, thus incorporating some information of user interaction with the system. An important concept in a query would repeat itself in the document title clicked by user that has input query. Next, we'll talk about how to extract. Before that, so summarize this picture as pattern concept bootstrapping, like top 10 cars, something like that. So then query title alignment, how to get something like this last Hong Kong zombie comedy movie. The concept itself is scattered in a query and split into multiple pieces like gifts for birthday, for parents, things like that. So finally, like something like a supervised learning method to extract them, which we'll go into more detail next. So each word is represented by its tag features, like part of speech or named entity recognition, and contextual features, tag features of its previous word and succeeding word, combination patterns of tags of contextual words in the word itself. These features are fed into a CRF and to yield a sequence of labels, identifying the concept chunk. So retrieve concept related to extracted key instances based on ISA relationship. Enrich concept by concatenation of top click titles. No relationship between instance and any concept. In that case, extract contextual words. Retrieve candidate concept with these words like RAV4. From that, fuel efficient cars or durable cell phones. So you can either do it by matching or scoring, and also something like Snow White is white fairies and bedtime stories. So these are some examples of this topic instance hierarchy. So we have entertainment, celebrity, movie, Stephen Chow. Movies are like May, December romantic movies, Hong Kong zombie movies. Then at the leaf level, you have Journey to the West, Lennon the Professional. So you need to decide concepts coherent to document, calculate matching score, match key instance with concepts. Thus you get a direct cyclic graph. With the edges indicating is the relationship between nodes. Given a concept, retrieve content with same modifier in context, like fuel efficient, Toyota RAV4. Extract instances contained in queries and titles, and apply something like a probabilistic inference. Complex concept to depict document coverage, matching scores coherence based on title and list representation. Decomposition through probabilistic inference. Like from diet for, how do you get diet for weight loss? From celery, whole wheat bread, and tomato. From context words like fiber, healthy, hydrated. A tagged concept, it's a low fuel consumption cars, whereas the title could be see these cars with less than 2 liters, 100 kilometers fuel consumption, and up to 1,000 kilometers recharge mileage. So more examples of extracted concept from user perspective. Entertainment is a topic. Movies adapted from a novel is a concept. Great Gatsby and Anna Katerina are instances. Is a relation between concept and instance established through user activity. Games, mobile game for office workers, Pokemon, Invincible, Asia. So what's the summary here? Basically, once you get topics, concepts, instances or entities, how do you retrieve candidate documents, rank document by CTR prediction, recommend feeds. So user-centered concept tagging or mining improves understanding of documentation query. That's the customer problem. Technical challenge is how do you characterize the document coverage, extracting concepts. Proposed solution is identify user relationship of concepts with topic and instance. So now we will go into what's called as domain knowledge graph. This is from Alibaba. Basically, customers search for items in catalog through product-oriented keywords. Knowledge graph bridges semantic gap between what users want in their domain, in their mind, and how items are organized in e-commerce platforms. Thus, a service, not tool, talks with customers and gives suggestions or reasonable explanations as needed. So this is what we mean by pre-sales customer service helps optimize buying process, thereby improving conversion rates. Now, how do you mine such structured knowledge from free text in vertical domain? Basically, you need to extract nodes, establish links, and output structured knowledge like this. The proposed solution is user needs have to be captured as e-commerce concepts, like outdoor barbecue is a concept, and then associated that with product items like grills and butter. And there are other concepts like skin friendly, safe, non-toxic. These are what are called as points of interest, typically in categories like clothing, beauty, and tableware. Item detailed pages and articles are data sources for POI mining. Anti-acne could be a POI, whereas pimple could be a problem from customer perspective, and bisabolol is a product. From its attributes, you can connect that with POI. In essence, the proposed solution is capture user problems, points of interest, and item info. How do you know from dry skin, you need to get a product which preserves moisture? You can infer this with domain knowledge. The buying process itself, user intent, which is like dry skin, towards some items for certain scenarios. You want to preserve moisture in winter. So where the state user is at, and then solution to user problem. So here are a few more examples of POI, clothing, skin friendly, user as a pimple problem. So it could be like POI to product or concept to POI also. A phrase is called out as a user problem if it describes a state that user want to find out solutions for. And as a POI, if it reveals user interests or potential needs. E-commerce content is data source for POI mining. User problems or POIs are captured in phrases. Item or category property value data imported from product knowledge graph. So text sentences reveal a specific kind of relation between point of interest and user problem or product value data. The relational POI knowledge encodes associations with user problems as well as product value data. The heuristic rules help obtain such phrases from which both positive and negative samples are collected through crowdsourcing annotation. After that, a binary word classifier is trained to predict whether an extracted phrase is a POI. The obtained POI candidates will be further checked by crowd annotators. And finally, those accepted will be added into the knowledge graph and organized as category has POI tuples. So clothing, skin friendly, user, pimple. Though similarly, like category or item property value, category property value. Cleansing foam, ingredient is a bisabolol. Pimple needs anti-acne. So this CPV and IPV are same here. And then IPV cause POI. There's a need link and there's a cause link. So bisabolol cause anti-acne versus pimple needs anti-acne. So the sources, as mentioned, could be item articles, detailed pages, or chat log. So infer user want through problem, that's the need, pimple. Explain how product feature corresponds, cause, right? So that's how pimple, anti-acne, and bisabolol are linked. Categories form hierarchy, items at leaf level with predefined properties, that is ingredient, values, bisabolol. You need to mine such nodes and extract such relations. So what are the various applications? So it could be a shopping guide, which will enable query rewrite and item recall. My skin is a bit dry, and what kind of facial cleanser is suitable. So that's like the need is to preserve moisture, and you have item property value and point of interest knowledge. So also it can answer questions, evaluation of alternatives. Can it be used by pregnant women? The property is the target user. Recommendation reasons, explainable recommendation, why a product is suitable. It enables purchase decision. Something like a sweater style round neck. So brings a feeling of cuteness and leisure. So, from text to named entity recognition to relation extraction, a knowledge graph triple, category property value, and then item property value. Examples are like you have text like food grade silicone does not contain BPA. So then from that, food grain silicone, high temperature sterilization, these are all entities. How do you extract the relation? There is these keywords reassuring, basically like sterilization is connection to reassuring, and then tableware. And triple is like baby tableware, material, food grade silicone. So food grade silicone causes sterilization, it causes reassuring, safety. And finally, like, this can be also at the item level. So what's the summary here? Basically, you have to mine the nodes for POI as well as use the problem, CPV and IPV, and then link prediction, relation extraction. So that's how the POI knowledge is mined. Customer problem is to connect the customers to item through chatbot conversation. The technical challenge is how do you construct a knowledge graph or sub from free text without manual annotation, leveraging external knowledge. Emphasis on schema layer with relations. That's the proposed solution. So next we will review some recent work from Amazon about how to enrich catalog taxonomy. So taxonomies are useful for item categorization, some sort of browsing. Let's say that most relevant nodes or types in taxonomy shown on left sidebar used based on user search. Examples are like grocery and gourmet food or K-cups. This is more like a categorization. Browse relevant nodes to refine search space. You're looking for a more general or specific type of items like coffee beverages, right? And then identify item belongs to taxonomy. Basically map a user query to corresponding nodes. If what you're looking for is K-cups coffee, you need to kind of map that to single serve coffee capsules and pods. And finally, you need to allow some query rewrite, allows query relaxation and make more items searchable. If results are sparse, for example, other coffee belong to other child categories. So what's the issue here? Parent type, other coffee belong to parent type coffee beverages. So this customer problem is, it's labor intensive and difficult to scale due to human maintenance of these catalog taxonomies. So how do you enrich existing incomplete taxonomies, not construct from scratch is the technical challenge. Emerging term attachment, consistency with existing structure, that's the proposed solution. So e-commerce, most taxonomies, even online ones, are built by experts. E-commerce sites usually, however, have thousands of nodes, not necessarily enough to cover types of billions of billions of items. Many items do not directly mention types in taxonomy, implying a mismatch between knowledge organization and item search, thus justifying need for automatic construction. The existing techniques construct taxonomy from general text corpora like Wikipedia, thus limiting their applicability to text-rich domains as described in next slide. Enrichment instead discovers emerging concepts like same as type, category, what we call as concept is item, node in our parlance, and attach them to existing taxonomy, which is called core, to precisely understand new customer interests. Due to use in production and hence quality control, compliance with existing schema is a challenge. So item profiles and user queries in target domain serve as a framework input. So something like a golden state fruit pairs to compare deluxe gift is item profile. Like the query could be like Starbucks coffee cake cups or dried fruits, organic, no sugar added. Another example is Del Monte sliced buttered pears and 15 ounce. So see how this corresponds to item one above, right? Now, core taxonomy for self-supervision. So what's the challenge here? The item titles are typically shorter versus Wikipedia. Vendors write in arbitrary ways. Finding co-occurrences of hypernym pair in concise documents is hard, like US and Seattle versus beverages and coffee, which are synonymous. Blindly leveraging co-occurrence patterns is misleading. Strawberry flavor is it's a flavor rather than hypernym for ice cream. So new terms automatically extracted via sequence labeling. Heterogeneous sources of signals for hypernymy detection during term attachment. Structure of core taxonomy, query item taxonomy interactions, lexical semantics of item pairs. Instead of collecting expensive human annotations for training, extracting existing terms are used as existing terms are used as self-supervised labels. Extraction or attachment solve which terms and where to attach. Lexical semantics of terms provides complementary signals. Connecting type terms to user behavior prepares rich signals required for generating structural term representation. So there's a new term B dash, new edges R dash, and then self-supervision for terms as well as relations. Core taxonomies like grocery, beverages, fruits, and then fruits you have pears and coconuts. How do you add comis pears, Bartlett pears under pears, and figs under fruits? So term attachment learning, you also structural, semantic, and lexical representation, self-supervised training samples, and then inference on new term pairs, like comis is not a coffee, but a pear. When, where and how to attach it, where and what to attach. So NP chunking is an alternative which extracts many terms, not item types. Penzies Spices is a company, no sugar is an attribute, less specific or whole bean coffee. Autophrase extracts some terms, not of desired type, like honey roasted, American flag, or indeed high quality phrases that appear in item titles. Octet, the proposed solution here, achieves high precision on top rank terms while ensuring extracted terms of same type as existing terms on core taxonomy. So more examples here. Flowers as hypernym of carnations. Lexical representation helps with matching of fresh cut. Semantic representation identifies carnation is the type of flowers. Tilapia is a type of fresh fish. When lexical clues are lacking, semantic representation is used to recognize. So Bach beer closely related to beers and ales without structural representation. Narrow down to more specific type of lager and pilsner beers, adding structural representation. Unconfident in distinguishing harder case like russet potatoes from fingerling and baby potatoes requires deeper semantic understanding. Siblings of pinto beans all start with dried. Potential error in the core taxonomy, confusing during training. So what is the technical challenge as a summary here? Heterogeneous sources of representation, no additional human effort other than existing core. And the proposed solution is to extract and attach terms. So this is not from a particular company in the industry, but the next paper is talking about neighbor product reconstruction. So customer problem is phrase level and product level domain knowledge. That improves aspect extraction. The examples are like screen versus size of screen, and then software versus Sony Sonic Stage software, mouse versus Bluetooth mouse. So you need to not only know these are phrases, but you also need to understand the domain to which these phrases belong. So BERT, that makes incomplete or wrong predictions like screen and software, whereas what is proposed here, eBERT, that correctly gets the aspects. So relying on co-occurrence to capture semantics, which is expensive, missing aspects sometimes. These are the issues with BERT. Indiscriminate use of factual knowledge could introduce noise. Masked language model predicts individual words from incomplete input, thus being word oriented. So how do you associate something like Android and iOS through content not only from Samsung Galaxy, but also iPhone? So that's the crux of the approach here. Use transformer as underlying architecture, leverage as pre-training resources, massive domain corpus, high quality e-commerce phrase pool, and product association graphs. So there are downstream applications like review, question answering, aspect extraction, aspect sentiment classification, and product classification. So masked language model has inconsistent levels of difficulty reconstructing tokens, learn preliminary semantics, adapt. There are two, which is essential for later understanding. Adaptive hybrid masking, which is more like gradually switch from learning preliminary word knowledge to complex phrases, mitigate mismatch between pre-training and fine-tuning. So the input sequence could be baby monitor with remote pan tilt camera and 3.2-inch LCD screen. Word-oriented approach will get monitor, remote, camera, and screen, whereas baby monitor, pan tilt zoom, that will come from the phrase level masking. So finally, you need to output like camera with 3.2-inch screen, monitor remote, baby monitor, pan tilt zoom. How do you kind of reconcile this? That's the neighborhood product reconstruction solution approach based on AHM and NPR. Associated content from central information, transform hidden semantic knowledge to model weights, put content embeddings into a pair from product graph, denoising cross-attention layer that learns word-level correlation between two products, predict the product's associated neighbors, multiply matrix with content to generate neighboring product. Dell LED monitor 32-inch, the input term title. Phrase pool is more diversified and fine-grained and domain-specific versus chunking to select nouns for masking. So like in the automotive category, like jumper cables, chromatic gasket, angel eyes. In the clothing, shoes, and jewelry category, high-waisted jean, Nike classic. These are the phrases. So what's the summary here? Domain knowledge, phrase and product level is a technical challenge. You have to combine word or phrase level masking coherently to capture knowledge in a progressive manner. Meaning of each word in a product content is expanded to associated products. So coarse-grained graph, a denoising cross-attention layer. Examples are like a Mandolin slicer and steel chopper. So you need to find out the correlation between slicer and chopper, slicer and dicer, vegetable and veggies. Similarly, like docking station and Dell monitor, display and monitor, docking station and monitor. So finally, this is some recent work from Home Depot about product type discovery. So you need to improve accuracy understanding users' intent in entity semantic search. That's the customer problem. The technical challenges are recognize product entities in queries. Something like Milwaukee cheap drill Milwaukee is a brand, drill is a product. So GE is a brand, 7.4 cubic feet is a dimension, dryer is a product, gas is the attribute. So this kind of NER is more like a reference for NER is the existing ontology, like root is tools and appliances, saw, drill, hammer, washer, dryer, freezer, all appliances. Classes for SKU to product type mapping on the catalog side. So retrieve relevant products from catalog, NER for identification from text, classify tokens in a sequence of words. These are all still the technical challenges. Finding types to construct ontology is expensive due to human efforts involved. We did talk about this from earlier works also. So what's proposed is active learning framework utilizing domain experts' knowledge. So the demand side, as atomic keyword or phrase that describes what customer looks for. Supply side as a semantic tag or label that uniquely identifies the product. Significant differences in form, functionality, or usage location. Example is utility sync is qualified as it distinguishes itself from standard sync in its usage, whereas cardless drill is not as cardless does not change the core functionality of a drill. So you have known product type, initial labeling from candidate pool, product type classifier, data selection, human labeling by domain experts. That's the solution model. No common attributes, color, brand, material, or style, like stainless steel screw, white refrigerator. Exceptions in which human judgment based on knowledge in merchandising, customer preference, or just common sense is required. For example, generic PT range can be broken down, product type range can be broken down into more granular ones by fuel type like gas range, electric range, or by other attributes like induction range or conventional range. The word wood is a material in wood rolling pin, while it's about usage in wood. So what's the summary here? Discover new product types, prepare a list of selective candidates from catalog or query log. Flashlight, both together as flashlight or UV flashlight. What's the technical challenge? High volume queries biased towards popular products, noisy terms with irrelevant attributes, for example, brand and dimension. Now, to summarize what we saw so far, in the first video, we had simplified ontology using augmented graph to generate product classes. This is early work from Walmart. So, a little bit more impact, mining from query and log, identify user relationship of concept with topic or instance from Tencent, knowledge graph construction without manual annotation, connecting customers to items from Alibaba, catalog taxonomy enrichment, extracting and attaching terms to core from Amazon, miscellaneous or neighborhood product construction, adaptive hybrid masking with domain knowledge, product type discovery with catalog from Home Depot. So that's all. Thank you.